What happens when there are no questions left for the mind? Be aware if there are no questions and no answers. Thus, the boredom sets in. Does the mind start seeking happiness in some fantasy, some daydreaming? What would happen if mind truly understood that there's never a need to question any feeling, any thought, any experience, any situation? What will happen to the mind? It would have nowhere to go but sink back into its source. What if you did not question, any image that is currently appearing or not appearing? Is mind complaining of blankness? What do I do then? I need something to focus on. Is that what the mind is saying? Which is when Baba tells us that you're combined with me. It is not directing your attention towards Baba. It is the cessation of directing your attention. It is relaxing your attention. It is a cessation of all doing. It is just being. That is what combined form is. Thinking of the mind in the heart of God. Is nothing left to direct your attention to. Now, mind won't be happy hearing this. The hardest thing it finds is to just be. It will have 1,000 questions how to just be. and to just be. Nothing is missing in this moment. This moment is exactly as it should be. This moment never ceases to exist. It's eternity. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, and then eternity. It is eternity now. And forever. Which means your contentment, your happiness is now and forever. It may appear that it's punctuated by some experience of some thought, of wanting and desiring. It appears, but it's not punctuated by it. Eternity is the background, the foreground. Everything happens within it. So the happiness and the peace is not punctuated. Everything happens within this container of happiness and eternal peace and silence. I cannot be touched, but I can touch every experience very intimately. I cannot be harmed, just like space of this room. And so I don't need to defend myself. Just like the space of this room. I am that I that is worthy of this name, I. Om. Silent. The Murli that we will be reading is 14th of February, 94 or 19th, 9/72. 19/9/72. Beautiful. Are all of you stabilized in your unshakable, immovable, and constant stage? It's truth, actually. The word stage is not exactly the right translation. Immovable and constant truth. When Baba is saying stage, Baba is talking about soul as that stage, right? On which this entire play of the body mind plays. Yeah? That is how it is, right? It's not the stage of a person or the stage of the mind. Yeah? So the word stage has to be understood correctly. Okay? Otherwise, how immediately our mind picks it up. I was not in the right stage. And I was in the right stage. This is how it picks it up, right? Isn't it? And it's so commonly even spoken like that. If you're in the right stage, Baba is with you. If you're not in the right stage, Baba is not with you. Are you that mental stage, mental state? So when you are that stage on which the entire body mind plays. Yeah. So you are that unshakable, immovable, and constant stage. So are you in the stage of the Mahavirs that is remembered from the previous Kalpa, which means do you know yourself as that, which is always like that? Previous Kalpa means you've always been like that. Because previous Kalpa and then previous Kalpa and then previous Kalpa and then previous Kalpa, right? It's never ending Kalpa. I mean, Kalpa continues after every 5,000 years. It's there's no beginning and no end to it. Yeah. So, are you coming close to your final stage of being a detached observer? Which means, are you recognizing your truth of being that detached observer? That is what it means. That's why we have to see that the language is just a means Baba is using to really let you know your innate truth. You can't take language literally. You will really not understand Murli as Baba is meaning it. So that's why Baba is saying that, are you coming close to your final stage of being a detached observer, cheerful, detached, and extremely loving? Hmm? You know, question from Sister Neha. She sent me a question. It really kind of brought something new for me, in the sense that when Baba is saying combined form, Baba is asking me to relax my attention from everything, and just know that my attention is just sinking back into me. There's no need to focus and concentrate. It was just in a very refreshed manner. That's what it really means to be combined. Because now it's because when you're giving attention, you're always giving attention, you're stretching your attention away from yourself towards an object. But when I'm combined with Baba, there's no distance, and Baba and I are just, there's nothing to focus. Just let my mind come back and relax where it belongs. So that's why we were saying in meditation, if you had no question ever in your mind, Baba यही तो देते ना drama का knowledge. The reason he gives us this knowledge of drama is so that there are no questions, inner or outer drama. But are we questioning our thoughts, feelings, sensations, emotions all the time?
Om Shanti Didi. So, what I have experienced was that whenever we sit in meditation, we're trying to, not trying actually, we are being aware of that awareness, but that space, that empty space. But eventually, because it's the habit of the mind, the space gets filled with objects. And I just realized that I'm just bringing the attention back to that space, to that empty, sinking back. And then after some time, I'm realizing there are again some objects in that empty space. And then I'm just sinking back. Then I'm. So I was like, what is this happening? It's the same, replacing one thought with another thought. I don't have to do an effort. Why I'm doing an effort to even sinking back to that empty space and realizing no, there is again some objects in that space.
What happens is, it feels when, because we are so, our mind is so habituated to focusing always on the objects. So now, actually, when we are relaxing, it feels like as though I am making an effort to relax. But it is the most natural thing to relax. It's actually an effort to focus on an object of a thought, of a feeling, of a sensation. But because it feels like we've always been so, our mind is always so focused on needing to do something, that for it to relax is an effort. Yeah. And that is why it feels like an effort. So, very important, who am I that is seeing? I am not relaxing my attention. Attention is relaxing back into me. I'm always where I am, right? So again, this thought that I am relaxing my attention back into myself, which means I'm seeing myself as that attention. I'm seeing myself as that beam of light, right? Rather than knowing myself as that light, I'm seeing myself as that beam. And then as that beam, I'm saying, I need to relax back into myself. Then I need to go back out. Then I need to relax back. And then I need to go back out. Yeah? You are here forever. I mean, I don't know where to put my hand, but you are always, always now and here. Yeah? I'm really reticent and I'm just, I don't want to put my hand here.
So when you put your hand there, the yellow hand, the hand raised automatically.
Yeah, I just keep doing it. Yeah.
And sister, here it's like when we are in the awareness of being the soul and combined with Baba, then it makes it so easy to watch everything happening within the body or the feelings or the thoughts. And that's what it does. It just relaxes in that I'm already with Baba. I cannot be separated from Baba.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't have to go and visualize and go up above and down below or anywhere. But here, just that Baba and I just never separated. Not
Mm-hmm.
a single second Baba says that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have to go anywhere. He's
Yeah.
with me, and together we are experiencing every moment
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. And the only thing that we are questioning is that when we are always with him, right? So I don't need to focus my attention on him. With him, I can allow my attention to move away from me to get some practical tasks done, right? I can do that. But I have not moved. I've just moved my attention away from me to be able to accomplish some tasks.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So I am right here, always here now. I take my attention. Body is also part of my object of experience. It's not, I'm not, see, this thing, this body am observing my experiences is so deeply ingrained that we even feel I'm sitting somewhere here and then I'm observing from this body, as this body, some experiences, even thoughts as experiences. Yeah. And that is why we need to really kind of know that it's impossible otherwise. But to know that this body is inside of me and body is also an object of experience, and that's all it is. It's just nothing. Body is just a word which has made it solid, but it's actually just vibrations and sensations. Then it's possible for you. Otherwise, it's impossible. Yes?
Yeah, Didi, I have a question. Like, it's always said that, as you explained in two or three Hindi classes we had in the last week, it gave a clarity to so many things. So when we say that physical world exists, and our body has a deep relation with the physical world, and when we say our body is the bundle of sensations, it's just an energy. How are we related to, you know, like what is the relation of the physical world and the human body?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Physical world is made of matter, right?
Mm.
Elements of nature, right? And
Mhm.
mostly space, as we say, matter is 99.9% space, right? But Atma, the soul, is carrying sanskars within it,
Mm.
right? And based on those sanskars, everything comes together, right?
Mm.
And it
Mhm.
creates some solid looking, but it's not really solid because of the way
Mm.
we see through our mind. It looks solid, but it's actually just a bundle of sensations,
Mm.
right? And more we see it like that, more we begin to see the sanskars with which it is made is within me, right? The sanskars with which the body is made, because there's a lot of matter, there's matter of everything, but body is made up of sanskars, right? And then some atoms and molecules of whatever it is needed from the material world. But it's actually just the sanskars that bring everything together. Yeah. So when all the sanskars are within me, then I'm actually carrying the body's blueprints even now within me. More that is clear, then I can actually see I am aware of my experiences as awareness rather than I'm aware of experiences as this body that I am. Which is not something said loudly in the mind, which is just a deep, deep belief in the mind.
So this is very deep.
Yeah. So this is
Very
why,
beautiful.
yeah. So that is why Baba tells us that be bodiless, because he knows that we are so stuck in it.
But Didi, aren't the body is ashes? How this one sees that body is just ashes, and sensations and vibrations are also the extension of I the being. Because if I the being is not there, there is no sensation, there is no. So I just see that this is just an, because ultimately it will just, get down to ashes. It's just that left.
Yeah,
So the sensations and vibrations is also just an extension of me, like thoughts and
yeah.
feelings, isn't it?
It's an experience in the mind. That is all it is. An
It is
experience.
not real. I mean, it's not real. The only thing that's physical real is ashes,
Yeah,
which has given a shape and which has given a features and all. Like
yeah,
Baba says, that there are different features. Like a matka is made from whatever shape you give, but
Mhm.
it will again turn, the matka will turn into mitti,
Yeah,
into the.
absolutely.
So same thing will happen with this, right?
Body also, yeah, and that is why experience of sensations, all experiences are in the mind. And that is why soul has to, like, how you matka, you said, this reminds me of another example. Yeah, it's like, first, let's say the water and the sand is all mixed. Yeah, and let's say now Baba says first separate the water from the sand, right? And now, once it's separated, now he says, okay, I'll make the matka out of it. We're taking matka in this case as a soul, okay? So I'll take matka out of it, make matka out of it. Now we can put the water back in. Yeah? So today, the soul is too mixed with the experiences in its mind, right? That is why we don't even talk about detaching from the outside world, although Baba takes that as a first step and an important step to detach from the outside world, right? Because if we are really too gross in our perspective, then that's needed. Yeah. And then it comes to the being trustee of the mind and the body, right? And once we are the trustee of the mind, then I begin to see that the truth of who I am is not really separate from my experiences. Because experiences are all in the mind, and mind is not separate from me. Does that make sense? So, which is why the Hindi Murli that we've been studying of Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, they're all inside of you. You can't separate yourself from those experiences. Don't even try. You'll be frustrated. But all that can happen is that you can transcend them. Transcend them means transform them. How do you transform them? By understanding that they're made up of you.
There is nothing bad about calm, growth, low, moving car. I don't understand why, we have been even in Shastras or even in Sakar Baba's movies, there's so much of hatred and repulsion towards, because this one, the practice that Baba is teaching through these classes, the moment I stop labeling them as bad. They are just another experience that just passes by.
Exactly.
They
It
are just,
flows through the consciousness, literally flows through it, leaving you pristine. Nothing is happening to you.
but why is it labeled so bad?
In the beginning,
Because of the suffering, because of the suffering that it gives. That's why.
Baba is trying to first separate you, like the mitti and the sand and the water, because we are two, in a way, we are intimately one, but we are mixed intimately one first. So then Baba comes and he says, no, no, no. This is who you are, and this is what you're not, right? And then Baba comes and says, but they're all in the mind, and mind is in you. So it's like he is literally telling us first separate, know your nature, and then see they are made up of you. So that now, when I know that all these experiences are intimately one with me, not in the sense by whilst I know my true nature, as I said, I am touching all the experiences, but they can't touch me.
Yeah.
Right? Space can touch all the pieces of furniture in the room, but the furniture of the room cannot define the space. Yeah, like that. So I am untouched, but I am touching all experiences. So when you are living like that, then even when I am coming in actions, I'm touching every experience. I'm part of every experience. I'm part of every feeling. I'm part of every thought. Then when I know my true nature and now I'm part of every thought, feeling, emotion, it will be based on my truth, innate truth, not based on somebody who's hating and detesting and being in revulsion with these kind of feelings, thoughts, and emotions. No, actually, they are also seeking the light of truth that you are. Everything is seeking light of awareness, light of truth. If you have you ever seen sunflowers? They just move with the sky and the sun. They're seeking the light of the sun. So all these feelings, thoughts, and emotions are seeking your light, because in that they want to merge. In that they want to become one. They don't want a separate identity anymore. They don't want to be looked at through a narrow thought perspective. They want to become one with you. And that is why when itna clear ho gaya na, aaj isko surrender ka bhi meaning. It became so clear, all this kind of, this thing going in the mind. Mind is used for churning. You can say churning, but I'm the being with Baba, using Baba's mind. Yeah. And in that, one sees that, what was I saying? But yeah, surrender. Surrender just means that when I surrender to Baba, what it means is Baba is ocean of love. And Baba is accepting it all, because somewhere, if you don't feel that power to embrace the toad, then Baba is saying, I will embrace the toad for you. Yeah? Baba is saying that I will not label it. I will not discriminate. And as I am, so you are. So through me, you know yourselves. Just as I embrace, you embrace. That is surrender.
Sister, in some Murli, Baba do label your dirty laundry and, um, you know, sacrifice your the vices and everything.
Yeah. What
But
does
at
it mean?
times, at times in some Murlis, he does label it.
Yeah. But why is he? That's why we are saying first he's labeling to separate us from it, because we are very much mixed with it, not one with it, but mixed with it. Right? So he has to label in the beginning to separate us, so that we know this is what this is and this is what I am. Today,
Yeah,
Amitabh and Iqbal. Yes?
Didi, it could be also because we have been thinking before that this is who I am. If
Yeah.
I am having the thoughts of
Yeah.
anger,
Yeah.
I am thinking I'm an angry person.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm having a thoughts of lust, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is who I am.
Yeah,
And that is why I think Baba, says no, this is bad, this is not who you are.
exactly. So he's saying bad not as you bad. He's saying bad as this is not your truth. You are not
Yeah.
this. You are this. So he has to do that in the beginning first. Because we are too mixed with our thoughts, feelings, emotions as us.
That clear understanding of what you explained, Didi, in last three classes, like it turned into compassion. Okay, earlier it was like, oh, how can I tell this soul that God has come and you can get rid of your voices? But
Yeah.
no, there's certain compassion and love for the other soul.
Yeah.
No, like even if it's a, emotion, feeling, thought of
Yeah.
wise, but it is pointing to their truth.
Yeah.
So that is amazing.
Yeah. And that's why, because we have compassion for these feelings in our own mind and body.
Mm.
And and to me, this is a very powerful metaphor that they are seeking the light of the sun. They're seeking me. They're seeking to become one with me, to merge in me. Because, and it's not hard work, it's actually cessation of doing. It is a cessation of doing. It is not a doing, but it is stopping doing. Does that
And also for surrender, Didi, the other day you mentioned it's not giving up. So that
yeah,
was again a clarity
yeah,
because to a certain extent, your mind would think, okay, let me give it up. And like, yeah, there's a thin line between giving up and surrendering to Baba. So that also was pretty
yeah.
clear.
Actually, surrender has to be understood correctly. There's a huge gap, but surrender is surrendering the pride of the mind. Surrendering is a separate identity. Surrendering is I don't own them. And yet, once I don't own them, I give them to Baba. Then from Baba, when I take them back, they come in their cleanest form to me. Because Baba is not discriminating at all.
And how do we know that we own something?
We own nothing. By knowing I
Yeah,
own
yeah,
nothing,
yeah. I mean, we are in that consciousness, or we are in that awareness. I mean, how do I know that I need to surrender it because I am owning this thought or this idea?
yeah, and you will see there will be certain subtle sense of resistance to these thoughts and ideas, and clinging also. Clinging to some nice, good experiences also that will be there. You know that you are somewhere identified with these experiences as you. Yeah, yeah. And that is how we know we are owning them.
Didi, what I understand is that ultimately, like even in bhakti, Baba and Atma and Paramatma just merge into one. I
Yeah,
mean, it's it's not that I'm not separate. Like Baba also says that, you know, either like you said, either you merge into the truth that I am or to the Baba.
yeah.
But in yesterday, Murli, Baba says that I have a separate form and name. What
Mhm.
does that mean?
No, in Sakar Murli, he must have said that.
Yeah, Sakar Murli yesterday, the
For
one,
the,
yeah.
for the mind, Baba gives a name and a form like a star and Shiva, right? But
Right.
so that my mind, mind has to be given something, right? It has to be given some form, some name. Otherwise, and that's why even soul is given a name called Saligram,
Hmm.
right? For the mind. Because otherwise, mind can't function. To make the mind focus on one thing, Baba gives
Okay.
it some form and some name. That's why he says soul is a dot, Baba is a dot. And
Yeah.
Baba's name is Shiva, and soul's name is Saligram. So that we don't have that bhakti sanskar of God and soul are one. That is a belief system mind is carrying, right? And that and in bhakti they say जिसका कोई नाम नहीं, एक ओमकार,
नाम रूप से न्यारा, नाम रूप से
न्यारा,
न्यारा।
नाम रूप से न्यारा. So which is true. But in bhakti, because of that, we made God and soul one. Yeah. But now first Baba is creating a separation between soul and God, and then he combines it again. Does that
And
make
that's why, yeah, and that's why Baba says that all souls are same. Even I am same. Just the part is different.
sense? I think just 2 days ago he said that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Without the part, all souls are the same.
Even Baba is also
Yeah,
same.
Baba is the same also. And so that is why it's important that Baba first gives some name form, because when we come, we are in bhakti mindset and we think we are our minds. And in bhakti, it is God and soul are one, and yet I am worshipping God. Yet God is and I are one. Bhagwan mere andar hai. This is too much confusion. So he first has to do this, which is why many Brahmins get confused also. Because many of us come with that bhakti background. No? This one has not, so that's why it was not so mixing to me. Because in this part, I did not do any bhakti. but that's what it means. So he gives the mind, okay, no. God has a name. Wait, God has a form. And you also have a name. And you also have a form. So mind thinks, oh, so there is a form to God. And I'm not the same as God. I am not God. Okay. I thought I was God. And I thought God was in me and God was in you. And I'm the body, so you must be body. And then God must be a bodily being too. So then he comes and he says, no, that's not true. You're bodiless, you're a star, and you have a name and a form separate from me. So he's first creating separation between soul and God.
Yeah, I think Didi Baba in Sakar Murli just uses one strategy, compartmentalize everything. Everything. In Bhakti, it was all. So he just, even Paramdham, he compartmentalized it.
He has to.
Hmm.
Because we are too much being our mind, we become a form of our mind. So he has to put everything in boxes and names and forms. Although he does put here, there some beautiful insights for those who are ready. He will sprinkle them in some places in the Murli somewhere, if you're willing to see it. He will sprinkle it. But am I willing to see it? Yeah. And that's why Sakar and Avyakt has to be seen. If you're too much into bhakti and all sanskaras, you may not even know that you're carrying those sanskaras, that I'm not good enough, wala sanskara, then that Sakar Murli is important, extremely important. And majority start there. Not good enough. And that's a bhakti sanskar. And those have to really study Sakar Murli. And then there comes a time when you can really see the beauty of Sakar Murli and really see that effort of that soul behind Brahma. Now you see Sakar Murlis from a different perspective. Because he did a lot of bhakti himself. Yeah. And then he kind of stepped out of it. And as he was stepping out of it, he's taking us out of it too. But I can sometimes... Sorry?
I realized that actually when Baba says I use Brahma's mind, So only when Brahma's mind is refined to that extent, only he can give us that knowledge, that information. And like you said, I think yesterday, or that as Brahma Baba's mind and buddhi was getting refined, the Murli's version, because Shiv Baba himself does not have a mind, the vocabulary, the language of this world. He
Absolutely.
was depended on Brahma Baba, and Brahma Baba himself was on a journey of reformation
Exactly.
because he is number one. So the
Exactly.
more he was getting refined, so the qualities of Murlis, and that transformation, only some souls will see that. We cannot hold on to those versions because
Oh,
Baba was himself. Oh,
exactly.
this is beautiful realization.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And that is why we say that if you really see Sakar Murlis from perspective of Brahma's effort, you will read it differently. In fact, to me, it feels like how much surrender that soul must have had because he had his own mind, which was not very clean. And then he's having God using his mind also. To what extent do you need to surrender identity with your limited mind? Have we really made that surrender? To me, that was the most stark thing in the Murlis of Sakar Baba.
And I wondered at that time, Didi, souls like Mama, who had such clarity of buddhi, must have picked up
On
those,
that.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is why it's like if you can catch hold of that, Murlis are the best thing that you can ever get hold of from God. Yeah, if you can really catch hold of that, then you will see what Brahma Baba's, and that's what we have to see, what Brahma Baba's effort was. How he was just so detached from his vices within himself. Although on one side, his mind is berating him for having it. On the other side, he's also seeing his perfect form. How is he doing both of them? On one hand, his mind is scolding him for having these vices. On the other hand, he's also wanting to see his perfect form. How? And at the same time, he has to be the sample for all. And he has to sustain so many souls. No wonder he's number one. But does that make sense now? So then all the Murlis will be clearer to you. Then the language of the Murli will not be a trap for you. It will be poem for you. Yeah, it will be a poem. So that is why Baba is saying that detached observer, cheerful, detached, and extremely loving. Or is that stage still far off? You are able to closely see the signs and qualities of anything that is coming close to you. So even these vices, if you see them from a distance, actually you will see them as you. More you bring them closer and closer and closer and closer. What is happening when you're bringing the finger closer and closer and closer and closer? It's not anymore
It
separate.
starts disappearing.
Yeah, it starts disappearing. So more I see these vices, oh my God, I am so sad. I can see the sadness. Yes, because in the beginning we are creating a distance because you're too much mushed with it. So, yes, you see the sadness. Now let that sadness come closer and closer and closer. Know that this is just an intimate experience within you. From a limited perspective, it is all it is. But it's all part within you. Let it become one and merge in you. There's nothing to hate, nothing to dislike, nothing to be repulsed by. Yeah? And you will find.
So when we say, sister, when we say like that merge in you, but merge, but without touching you, so that it doesn't come into our
It's
actions.
not a touch of physical touch, right? It's
No,
not
not a physical touch. Not a physical touch.
Stain you, right?
Right.
Nothing, as we said in the beginning also, that it's everything you are touching, but nothing is touching you, right? And we give this example of the sun. The sun is touching the entire earth. Many things which are not so nice and nice on earth, dirt, garbage, and beauty, all is there on earth. Is the sun getting affected by it? Sun is touching every corner of earth. But is the sun getting influenced by it? No. I, the soul, am touching every aspect of my script. Ugly or beautiful, I am touching it. But I am untouched by it. What happens is when we just keep it at a distance, then we are actually never able to detach from it with love. We will detach, but there will not be that extreme love followed by it. If you want extreme love to follow your detachment, then it has to be the true detachment where you just knowing your true nature, separate from it, and yet you now know that it's part of you. It also has to come back to you. You can't go halfway. Detachment is halfway. Extreme love is complete circle.
So when we kind of hear that it's part of you, then there's full acceptance and love, and then it can merge.
Yeah. It's like it's all within me. For space, it's all within me. You can come and dance or you can come and fight with each other in space. Space is not even choosing to accept. It's just its nature. This experience is also happening because I have accepted it already. Because that's who I am. I am acceptance. I'm not accepting something. Without my acceptance, this experience wouldn't be taking place of mind body. So I'm choiceless acceptance. Then your true nature shines through. Now in the thoughts that will come after that, there will be no sense of claiming me, mine, and I in it. Then Baba's thought, Baba's feeling, and Baba's doing it. Now you will understand how Baba is Karan Karavana.
Didi, when you say that it's a choiceless effort or it's a choiceless journey, what I realize that actually in a bigger picture, it's actually we are creating our destiny by this surrendering and by this choiceless, we are actually reshaping it into a beautiful, and that's why we are humans because of this awareness of this, right?
Yeah. So it's like human experience is within me. We are not humans, but human experience is within me. Human experience is nothing but an experience of limited thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and memories and sensations. That is all human experience is, right? And it's within me. I embody the human part. And
I mean, it's only we the humans who have this power to to shape our lives like none of other living beings have that, so that I find does not come by becoming the master of the thoughts or by but exactly through how we are understanding in this by having that choiceless attitude and having that that
Absolutely.
vritti of
Absolutely. Total
surrendering.
acceptance.
Yeah.
Total acceptance. Even in life, if you see with just physical level example, the way I have seen total acceptance of those around me has transformed them. Not trying to control them, fix their parts, fix their script. No, it was backfiring again and again and again. I tried that many times before I came into Gyan. Trying to fix them, trying to fix my thoughts, trying to fix this, trying to fix that, trying to fix my attitude outwardly, speaking so softly, internally, I'm wanting to accept, nothing worked.
And actually, it happened the other way. The more desperately we want to fix it, the more it gets, the more desperate I'm trying hard, I'm trying hard,
Exactly.
and
Exactly. And more I relaxed. And it's like now even you start feeling body as transparent and their bodies as transparent, which means I can really not mental some statement, but I can really see that this whole thing of this sanskaras thing that this thing, whole thing is made up of. There is such a pure being who's just there always. And it's also carrying it within itself. This whole thing which looks so solid, it's actually carrying within itself. And it doesn't mean the other thoughts don't come. Of course, they do come. But I know, oh, that's within me. That's not me. They are made out of me. And then the moment I say that's not me, that very moment, but who am I? I'm total acceptance of them. And then when I'm
See,
total,
it will start coming more, no, now.
yeah,
It will start coming more, no?
yeah,
And as you said in past classes that paap ka ghada bharna hi padega, so that our time, that time you were
absolutely.
talking about others, कि उनका
Self,
पाठ
self
खुलने
and
के लिए उनका
others.
पाप बन. So it goes to us also.
First of
Let it come, let it
absolutely.
come, and so
Yeah,
that my time will also come.
yeah.
So when that
All
in
the,
that class we
yeah,
were talking about others, but it
yeah,
goes to us also the same
yeah,
way.
absolutely. But with us, we are settling with God.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a big difference in how
okay.
we are settling it, right? The way we are settling it is we are allowing all these feelings, thoughts, emotions to come up. And in the light of awareness that I am with Baba, they are just becoming one with me without any resistance from me. Right?
And
Only, sorry?
in that part, they are not. In that classes, we were talking about others, so we are just seeing it coming, but
Yeah.
they are not doing. But in
Yeah.
here,
Because right now
it
the
is
knowledge
coming.
is not there. So then what
Yeah. So in
happens is that,
here,
yeah, because then पाप का घड़ा हमारा भी भर रहा है, but in a different way.
yes,
Yeah, it's
yes,
coming in us in front of us all the time, every moment, and then
yes.
because we are not scared of it, because I'm the light of awareness, right? I know in my light everything has to come up with Baba, right?
In fact, it should come, no? It
It
should
should
come
come.
more,
It
no?
must come. It must come.
Yeah. And nowadays, after knowing it, it is coming more, more, more. But the best thing,
Same here.
relaxation is
Same here.
when you start accepting it, you become so relaxed. You're not you first of all, I think so we have to work for ourselves only. Then eventually everything
Always
will
starting with the
fix.
self, but to understand, it's important to understand that even others, they have to go through their extreme tamopradhan stage, whatever it is for them.
Yes.
Then there is no room for
Accept it.
judgment.
Hmm.
No room for judgment, right? Because you
Yeah,
now
no room for that.
understand clearly that every soul has to go to its extreme rock bottom tamopradhan state. Whatever it may be, it's different for each one. But whatever it may be, it has to hit that rock bottom. And then it's like, boom, you know how you touch and then go like that. So
But
every
sister,
soul,
in this acceptance, yeah, acceptance of the part is fine. But if you're in a role, if whatever role one is playing, of a parent or whatever,
Mhm.
we still have to guide them lovingly and guide them or without having the expectation for them to change. It's not that we
Guidance
can
will
just
come.
sit back
No,
and
no.
watch.
That's, see, acceptance, when we, I don't know if you were there or not, acceptance means yes to all experiences, a universal yes. Yet there's a room for no in that universal yes, right? But guidance not as a parent. If you guide as a parent, then that
It's a
guidance
soul.
can never be
Then we
true.
are already in the role consciousness.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I don't even like to use the word role consciousness. It's more like a thought consciousness. It's just a thought. Because role is a compilation of many, many thoughts. But it's just actually one thought that soul succumbs to. And then the entire ocean of thoughts comes with it, and that makes a role.
Sister, I'm not clear. You said yes to everything, but then still there is room for no. Not clear
In
on
that
that.
universal yes, there is room for no. So, for example, let's say somebody is abusing the child in front of me. I will not say, okay, I am total acceptance, of course, but okay, carry on. It's your part. That's not how it's going to be. Now, I don't know what the action will be. All I know is first I will do my checking that yes, I'm not going to see them with the vision of a victim and a perpetrator. If that is the vision from where my action is coming, then it's just resistance to what is. But understanding that first, no one is a victim and no one is a perpetrator. Who am I and who are they? Seeing them, and that is only possible to see them beyond their sanskars and their actions once you have really started seeing all these limited feelings, thoughts, and emotions within you with detachment and love. Now you will have that transparency for them also. And then from that space, it could be an action, it could be words, or it could be no action. I don't know what it will be, but it will be the right thing that will happen in that moment. If we are coming from that, if we know, when I know who I am and who they are, then the right action or inaction, whatever it is, will come from that space. So in that sense, I'm not just going to say, I will take the actions. At times you have to take certain actions, but not with the resistance and anger in you. Yeah, or fear or desire. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we have to be really clean in our awareness of who I am, because very quickly a parent kicks in.
Yeah, because here there was a thing, with the soul behind the sun, was, certain things were happening and more of a role as a parent, just talking and kind of like having that subtle expectation for him to follow that.
Yeah.
And so, of course, it was not going the direction, which Niru wanted.
Yeah.
And then kind of step back. That just need to take that pause and walked away. And then soon, once it was back to Baba and said, Baba, of course, I didn't take you as my son. And all those expectations came. And it was more that Baba and I are together, and Baba is my son. Then didn't even have a desire to go back and talk.
Yeah.
Had no interest, just wanted to be in silence. And it just dropped everything. That says scene went away, everything went away. And then he came in and said, Mom, what do you have to say? I said, you know it all. Because was with Baba in that awareness, self as a soul, and was seeing him as a soul. I said, there's nothing for me to say, you know it all.
Yeah.
And that had more impact, which not expecting anything from him to have any impact.
Yeah.
That made that shift, whatever he wanted to do at that moment.
Yeah. And at times, there would be times you have to speak. It's not necessarily always, I will not say anything. At times, you may have to even use words. But
it just said, you know it all. You just know it all.
But sometimes there may be more words to be used. Does that make sense? But that will come from, there's not one size fits all. Yeah, sure. Sorry. It's not like one answer fits all situations. Does that make sense? Every answer will be tailor-made to a situation, and we will not know how to tailor-make it.
Yeah,
It will
depends on
come.
situation to situation. Yeah.
Actually depends on your state. Means
Mhm.
depends on who you are, if how clear you are in that. It's not situation to situation. It's how clear I am. 100%, 50%, 40%, 30%, 80%. How clear am I? Based on that, the answer will come. Yeah. Because there are times when we will see that we even falter, right? We falter in our awareness of being who I am. Yeah.
And that's okay, Nadi.
And that is perfectly fine to be equally okay with that.
Yeah.
That is more important. To be equally okay with times when you fall.
Mhm.
Right? It's not always about success and failure. It's about being beyond both. That is where the real victory is. Right? So we
And
don't,
this,
yeah.
sorry, this one is really practicing this. And now what mind says, oh my God, you're not doing anything. Now nothing, no effort you are doing. You are not even considering. I mean, really, and mind is saying, but I just see that when I don't identify with it, it just goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right? And that is why it is very, very important to really see our own self. Sometimes we get addicted to success and we don't even want to think about failure. Right? And that in itself is becoming its own form of another layer which we don't see. Yeah. So be very careful and in seeing, because we don't have room to see anything else except ourselves as a result. Yeah. So
You talked about the karmic accounts, right? Settling with Baba.
no, we said accounts that are settled means our old sanskaras are getting settled.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been listening to the classes regularly, but we've been saying this many times now. When we say it's the time of settlement means it's the time of settlement of old sanskaras. It's not settling accounts with someone else. It is a settlement of old sanskaras within me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you say detached observer, right? I mean, when to come into action, when to sit in that Sakshi stage. Sometimes, often, I mean, no, it's confusing. I mean, we do the opposite, and we get into kind of clashes or something. So, how do we, I mean,
It is
come
if
to know that?
we are getting into clashes, we are really living as a separate self most of the time. If that's what is happening all the time. Yeah. If once in a while it's happening and you're really paying attention to your truth of who you are, again, when we use this language, please, it's not take it literally, which means when I really know who I am as my truth of who I am, I'm aware of being, my truth is being combined with Baba. Then from that space, when I really see everything, then at times, even if I falter, I will know that it was part of the drama. It was supposed to be that way. There will be no room to beat yourself there. Yeah.
But as we live in the physical world, the mind is always constantly questioning why is like this, why this is like this,
That's
why
a
this is
mind
happening.
has got no life of its own to push you or pull you, right? You are giving attention to the mind and giving it life, right? That is why we say attention is just the source of who you are. Attention is your, you are the source of the attention. When you know your truth beyond the attention, that there's someone that is actually shining light on, thoughts, feelings, memories, body, sensations, whatever it may be, if your interest is constantly in Baba and I, then this, what do you call, constantly falling into, it may happen. Actually, I can't even rule that out, because for some time, there may be a phase where you're really falling down a lot, even when you're knowing who you are, because the sanskars are coming with such force, right? And but internally, somewhere you will know that I'm still coming from the place of truth. You can even see yourself coming into action, but you're still detached.
Mm.
That will also happen at times when you're coming from combined state. Yeah? You can see that.
And we talked about this task accomplishments, right? And how do we take the help? I mean, is it in Baba task is different to purification of the souls, but to day-to-day activities, household activities, or any other professional activities? How to take the help from Baba? I mean, if you are facing any
As a
difficulty.
person, the platform from where you're asking this question, it's impossible. As a person, I can never take help from Baba.
Mm.
Does that make sense? First, I
Yeah,
even need
understood.
to understand what it means to take help. What does it even mean to take help from Baba?
Yeah, please shed some lights.
What is the help Baba is giving?
Helping us sing our true our truth.
Helping us seeing our truth and helping us seeing that which is not true within me also. Both.
Yeah.
He's helping me with both. So if I'm seeing from where Baba is, in the place of truth with Baba, and I'm seeing that which is not me also with Baba, then it's not difficult at all, because then that is Baba's help. Yeah? If it's still the action and what am I doing in action is important, then what will happen? You can't be introverted. You can't be introverted. And if you can't be introverted, you can't be with Baba. Means you are with Baba, but you can't see that you are with Baba. Yeah? So which is why Baba is saying that is this final stage coming close? What other stage is even closer than that of being close? What are you, what other stage is even closer than that of being close? Are you coming close to the Father? What are you experiencing? You do not come to a standstill whilst moving along, do you? Plateaued. You do not stop on seeing a side scene, do you? And side scene is outside or side scene is in your mind? Actually, to see the side scenes in the mind, you have to be really introverted. Side scenes outside is easier to see. You must not stop here either. Sorry, are you experiencing the stage of ascent? It is not the stopping stage, is it? Because when people go on a physical pilgrimage, they continually keep on moving. Do they? They do not stop anywhere. This is also a spiritual pilgrimage, is it not? You must not stop here either. You have to continue to move whilst being tireless, unshakable, and firm. Then you will reach your destination. So, what is Baba saying? You have to continue to move, which means your mind and body will continue to align in your truth whilst you are tireless, whilst you are unshakable, whilst you are firm. And then the mind and the body will also reach its destination. Does that make sense? Now, if we don't listen to it carefully, I have to reach my destination. I'm in the ascending stage. Is it?
Sister, do you mind repeating
Which one?
what you said? This last sentence.
That I'm in the ascending stage? That
No.
one? No. Oh, you mean?
While the body is moving.
Oh, okay, yeah. The body and the mind is also moving in the direction at the destination. What is the destination of the body and the mind? To realign with the soul completely. Soul is always at the destination, but the mind and body are ascending. There will be that feeling of I'm ascending in the mind. Iqbal will be feeling, oh, I'm becoming Amitabh. Yeah, but that's okay. That's fine. It's very much permitted. Yeah, but it's the body and the mind. Becoming one with God means becoming one with also the truth of who you are. Because you and Baba are same.
Didi, in
Without,
Satyug, Iqbal and Amitabh will be one only, right?
yeah, there will be no Iqbal there.
Yeah.
Iqbal is from Copper Age. And complete Iqbal is from Iron Age.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sister Neeru, you were saying something?
No, sister, I was just saying thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So pushing nothing away, nothing is repulsive for pure allowance, for pure acceptance. Nothing is repulsive. Yeah. Just know for Amitabh, Iqbal is never repulsive. If Amitabh was to be repulsive towards Iqbal, it would never have been, firstly, playing that part. Secondly, it would be one with Iqbal then. It would become Iqbal if it's repulsive to Iqbal. Or clinging to Iqbal, it will become Iqbal because Iqbal is just thoughts and feelings. Only from